Did general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah do it again? I think he did. So we'll start off today's show breaking down the Cam Robinson trade that went down late last night. And then also what's going on in the injury front for our Minnesota Vikings. I'll give you guys everything I'm hearing there. So what's going on, guys? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and I want Vikings fans to show our general manager some love because I thought this move was awesome. So if you guys want to show him our support, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's see if we can cross over 500 likes on today's show. Show some love for the man upstairs and hit that thumbs up icon. So what did Kwesi do? He found our Christian Darrisaw replacement. So here were the full trade details coming from yesterday. It was the Vikings obviously receiving Cam Robinson, a starting caliber left tackle, and they did also get a 2026 7th-round pick, and they had to give up only a 2026 5th-round pick that can become a 4th. Now, the conditions on this pick do have to do with play time. I'm not sure if it's a regular season snap count or if it's postseason snap count. I would lean to believe that it is postseason snap count. So I think if the Vikings maybe play in 2 playoff games this year, this 7th-round pick goes away, and that becomes a 5th to a 4th. But let's just say Cam Robinson gets hurt, and he doesn't end up playing a whole lot for the Vikings because he does have injury history. This is just a 7th for a 5th-round swap in 2 drafts from now. This is a steal. And also that what makes it better is Cam Robinson's contract still has $16 million left on it for this season. The Vikings only have to pay that $9 million. I actually think this is 9.6. That's on me. But $9.6 million left on Cam Robinson's deal. That's a steal. But how has he performed so far this season? So this is all according to PFF. Their overall grade for Cam Robinson was a 69.4 grade. That was 35th out of 122 eligible left tackles. Pass block. This is his calling card. He's a great pass blocker. 72.2 grade, 43rd out of 102. And then run block, he definitely is a step back from Christian Darrisaw, no doubt about it. But again, still pretty solid, 64.6. 52 out of 122. So what will the starting offensive line look like for the Vikes? I'm hoping it's this. Now, I swear if it's Ed Ingram starting at right guard, I might be a little upset. But this is what I think the Vikes are going to roll out there Sunday night versus the Colts. It's going to be Cam Robinson starting at left tackle, Blake Brandel at left guard, Garrett Bradbury still holding down the center spot. And I think it is going to be Dalton Risner at right guard, and then Brian O'Neill at right tackle. And, my take over the Cam Robinson deal, I think this might have just saved the Vikings season with this move. And by saved, I mean, I think it gave more confidence in that locker room where now those guys like Jefferson, Addison, like Harrison Smith, Van Ginkel, Grenard, like those true blue chippers we have, like I'm sure they're looking around and saying, oh, the guys up top, Kwesi, he believes in us? Okay, let's go do this now, and let's go spark this Super Bowl run potentially in Minnesota, because let's just say they didn't make a move. I'm sure the guys in that locker room would start looking around like, man, we need a left tackle, and we're just kind of sitting on our hands, not making a move. I'm sure the guys in that locker room are now saying, oh, yeah, we got a chance to go win this Super Bowl now, and it is just truly, truly awesome what Kwesi did with this move. But got to talk about the negatives. Just like in everything, we'll talk about the positives, and we'll talk about the negatives. Biggest negative with Robinson is the injury history. He has not played in more than 16 games in his entire career. The most games he played was 16 in 2020. But in 2018, he dealt with an MCL injury. 2022, he tore his meniscus at the later half of that season, and then big reason why he only played 9 games in 2023. And he did deal with a concussion in 2024. Now, I will say this. He was benched the week before he was traded for the Jags, but I also think that was a little bit of them knowing they were already in trade talks. They didn't want him to get re-injured, so they couldn't trade him at the deadline. I thought this, again, great move. And I want to shut down one ridiculous take I've seen out there. For all the people, whenever the Vikings make a move that obviously involves draft capital, everybody starts freaking out. Oh, look at that. Vikings have no picks. And that's the same crowd that says Kwesi can't draft. And that's true. So number one, who cares about the draft picks? This is a 4th or 5th rounder. You would hope that 4th or 5th rounder would become half the player that Cam Robinson is. And also this, it's not like he's been good at drafting anyways. Like, you go look at his last 3 drafts, they've been awful. Like, really the only starter we have is Jordan Addison. Like, Ty Chandler was a good pick in the day 3. But again, it's not like Kwesi has been knocking it out of the park, especially with these 4th or 5th rounders. Also, a big benefit of this, Blake Brandel, he gets to stay at left guard. I am sure they worked him out at left tackle and realized that's not going to cut it. Sure, they went through a couple of walkthroughs, talked to him. What's your confidence in playing left guard? So that's great news. And also more great news, Ed Ingram might get benched now. Which obviously not great news for him, but it's great news for the Vikings because you guys see his numbers at the bottom of your screen in 420 snaps this year. 48.9 overall grade, 40.9 in pass block, 56.4 in the run block, and he's allowed 5 sacks. So if they had to move Brandel, the left tackle, Risner, the left guard, that would have meant he would be your starting right guard for the rest of the season. That's not the case anymore. Now you can just plug in Risner at that right guard spot, and that might mean Ed Ingram might finally get benched. But I'll throw this question your guys' way. Pick a right guard for me. Give me a 66 for Dalton Risner or give me a 67 for Ed Ingram. I better see the comment section flooded with 66s just in case any coaching staff member for the Vikings is watching this video. So type those 66 or type those 66s down below. I think that's how you say that, right? 66s. A little bit of a tongue twister, but show Risner some love down below in the comment section. Now, coming up next, we got the latest injury news around your Minnesota Vikings. What's going on with Cashman? What's going on with Hockenson? Wait just a second, and I'll tell you guys. But first off, got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys download the Game Time app today, plug in promo code CHATSPORTS. That's Chat Sports. You guys will get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Now, Game Time has an awesome new feature they just came out with. It's called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And, hey, tickets for this Sunday Night Football matchup are a little expensive, but if you guys want to make that price just a tad more manageable, Game Time is the best way to do so. They also have a views from your seat feature, which gets you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy. So download the app today, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. We got some great injury news around Blake Cashman because it's looking like he is going to go this weekend. And we'll talk about that impact here in just a second. But I want to get you guys the first report we got from Darren Wolfson, and this was coming from Sunday night. He said this: "I'd love to tell you I knew if Blake Cashman is going to be back on Monday, talking about for practice. He was walking fine in the locker room on Sunday, but he was off to an appointment. I will tell you some people close to Blake were quietly optimistic in the middle of last week. I was told that he was, quote, probably back for the Colts game, but now I've texted those same people in the last 24 hours, read between the lines, or didn't read into it at all, but I haven't heard back, so I don't know if the optimism remains or not." Well, then we got a really good update from our man Alec Lewis over at The Athletic. Go give him a follow on Twitter if you haven't already, where he aggregated what Kevin O'Connell had to say. He said, "Compliments to Kwesi and his group for being able to acquire a player like this. Hope to have him practice fully tomorrow and on into the weekend." This was actually him talking about Cam Robinson. There was another tweet he had where he was talking about Blake Cashman, and he said Kevin O'Connell is extremely optimistic that he will be ready to go. So that's great news. And also, who is that great news for? I think it's Ivan Pace. Now, Ivan Pace, in my opinion, has struggled the last 2 games. And I think a big reason of that is him wearing the green dot. Now, I think Pace is one of those guys. He plays football better when he can just act like his head's cut off and he is just a, almost Rambo out there on the football field where he just puts his head down. He's not thinking too much. But when you have that green dot responsibility, you got to have the processing and mental side of the game. And I don't think Pace necessarily excels in that. But Blake Cashman, he's a great communicator. He's a great leader. He's a great guy to wear the green dot. So I think this will also impact Pace's play as well. But TJ Hockenson, clap it up. The man out of Iowa is finally back. Kevin O'Connell said today that there will be no restrictions on his playing time, no snap counts, so he will be fully back. And immediately when I heard Hawk's back, I thought of this. There is no excuse now for Kevin O'Connell to not develop some sort of a quick passing game. where it's you got TJ Hockenson, you got Jefferson, just quickly throw them a 5-yard out. They can turn it into a first down. Just supplement, some sort of plays on first and second down where you're not just going inside zone over and over again, and it just kind of feels like you're running into a brick wall 99% of the time. And it gets me to this. I think the Vikes should blow out Indy this weekend. After the Cam Robinson trade, you got Blake Cashman coming back. You got TJ Hockenson coming back. The Vikings should blow them out. My score prediction for this game is 34-13. I think this should be a absolute dismantling of the Indianapolis Colts in US Bank Stadium. So hopefully they do it. But, knowing the Vikings, it'll probably be a very, very stressful game as well. But I'll ask you guys this. Who you got Sunday Night Football? Will the Vikings get back in the win column? Give me a V for the Vikes. Or if you're rolling with the Colts in this one, give me a C for the Colts. Now, also, I am on Twitter at Pat Sieps is Twitter handle. Give me a follow up there, and I'll give you guys a follow right back. But see you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.